What's up, Thumpers? Welcome back to another episode of Hyper Heroes. You're in Hyper Up Power Go! Very excited to be back. We almost didn't do a show today because we lost power.
And let's hope we don't lose power in the middle of the show.
I really hope we don't lose power in the middle of the show either. That was kind of terrifying. At the last minute, I was like, hey, if you don't hear from me by 6 or by 7, we're not having a show.
Right,
which I really didn't want to have to reschedule the things that we have to shoot
Again,
tonight.
I know.
Again, because we already had to do this many times.
What are we shooting tonight? We're shooting a Titans podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to be all caught up tonight with the newest ep, and we've got a lot to say. If y'all aren't listening on our conversations each week about this season of Titans, they're great conversations.
They are.
I look forward to this more than I look forward to watching the show.
Yeah, I agree,
Like,
too.
I'm enjoying a lot of the show, but I'm enjoying the discussion after because we break it down, and I'm like,
It's fun.
Good.
Especially,
It's fun.
especially episodes like tonight, because especially tonight's episode is pretty divisive for me. Like, I'm pretty much on board with the show, but tonight's episode, I'm just like,
Not quite there. Not quite there.
like,
And
come on, man.
then after that, we're going to do a commentary for Hold It Up, dude. Hold it up, dude. Hold it up. Let them know. Coco.
I'm hydrating right now because I'm going to cry out all these tears.
I'm really excited to rewatch this movie. I haven't
Yeah.
rewatched it probably in like 6 months.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to give it a rewatch.
Okay.
And on top of that, you are on our Los Muertos, Dia de los Muertos RPG.
That's
That's
true.
right.
That's right.
That's
That was
right.
really fun.
Yeah.
That first episode was really cool, and this is going to definitely put me right in that mood.
Yeah.
And the only thing is, I wish I had more time today to. I planned on watching some special features to get some more sort of
Insight
behind the
and
scenes
stuff.
detail and stuff. But I feel like I already know like a good amount of this movie.
Right.
So this is going to be a great commentary as we talk about this gorgeous animated movie.
So I also posted a video on my Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw it.
Oh yeah.
It's an hour-long documentary about.
I did, yeah.
Did you watch it?
I watched the first 20 minutes of
Yes.
it.
Okay, it's really good. So
Before the
it
power went
kind
out.
of breaks. Oh, you're watching while the power went out? That
Yeah,
sucks.
Or during. Or right before.
So it kind of breaks down. It's called. Traditionally, it's called Dia de Muertos. So apparently, Dia de los Muertos is not the traditional name for it. But
Dia de
Muertos, they break it down in how it kind of came over in the 70s, and then this Latino kind of like artist organization called Self-Help Graphics kind of helped artists get together to kind of make this celebration.
Cool.
And now modern day Self-Help Graphics is the kind of like the leader in this tradition in LA.
Cool.
And how it's kind of like it's morphed since the 70s, and like how art styles influence the early things, and just like it's kind of crazy because it's kind of taken on its own thing here in LA, but it's still very much based in the classic Mesoamerican traditions that were placed back then.
Yeah.
Really good watch.
That's
Highly
great.
recommend
Nice.
everybody watch it. You guys specifically. But before you
We'll
watch,
link it. We'll link it in the
before you watch
description.
this. Watch that first. It's on my Twitter. I'll tweet it out later, or just message me and I'll give it to you.
And I'll put the link in the description.
Yeah. Put the link there, and you'll probably enjoy this a lot more after you watch that.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah.
nice,
So
nice.
Yeah, I think Coco is a beautiful example of a big corporate company named Disney or a company like that taking a story inspired by actual cultural traditions and doing a good job of remixing it, making it very mainstream and understandable, adding other aspects of that same culture, all to just sort of celebrate that culture.
Right,
And I think
exactly.
they do a good job while still being a very Pixar animated film, you know, within a very like mainstream storytelling thing. So that's a great example of
they
that.
took a good route for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Agree. The commentary for Coco and our Titans podcast is available on Patreon. So jump on over, become a hyper homie. You'll get access to all that stuff. And every month we're doing new commentaries. We're also going to be doing a podcast for The Mandalorian.
And if all goes well, more stuff
That's
on
right.
Disney Plus.
That's right,
So
that's
get
right.
in on it. Tell your friends about it.
Gets them on there immediately. In the meantime, let's talk about another streaming service that had a really big announcement just 2 days ago.
Let's do it.
I didn't even know that this was happening.
I didn't either.
I looked on Twitter and people were like, oh, yeah, today HBO is expected to announce more details about HBO
Yeah,
Max. And I was like,
isn't
okay.
Apple Plus live now? Right now?
I don't think so.
Oh, I just don't care about it.
I don't think anybody
Maybe it
does.
is.
I think people had maybe early screeners or something.
Probably of
That's
some
what
of
it
the
was.
shows, yeah, of like the morning show and stuff. I've heard like mixed to good things about all the shows.
Oh, I'm not interested in any one of them.
No, either
I'm
am
not
I.
really either,
Yeah.
but I like a lot of the
Sorry.
actors that are on them. So
Apple,
it's tough.
here is a way you will not get my money. I'm so sorry.
No, they're
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix already lost my money. Like I'm already
Yeah,
not
dude.
on board with Netflix
Yeah.
even
Dang.
before any of this stuff drops. Because I'm
And
I
they're the
feel like-
OG.
and they're the OG. I
Yeah.
feel like it really sucks, but maybe HBO and Disney pulled their stuff, and at that point I was just kind of like, I'm not really too into.
Yeah, because
this
a lot of the stuff
like,
you go on Netflix for is a lot of Disney and like Warner Brothers related properties.
Yeah, it was a lot of that stuff. Also, I'm a big fan of Friends. They're gonna pull that, and so I'm just like,
when are they pulling that?
I think it's
next
the
year,
end of this year.
2020.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Because HBO Max launches in May of 2020. So
Yeah. Are you? What are you?
I got 2 seasons to go on Friends. I got to finish it out.
You better hurry.
Oh,
you better
yeah,
hurry.
you better hurry up.
I've been doing a rewatch since they added it to Netflix, like 4 years ago.
Right.
And Keller and I used to have like Friends Sundays where we would
I remember that.
binge an entire
Yeah.
season. And then eventually we lost, we lost it in our
drive.
schedule.
Yeah.
We lost the drive. But he, I think, is still watching it, and he's almost done with the series because he'd never seen it.
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
also rewatching it, and I'm in season 9 right
yeah,
now,
yeah.
so I have
almost
2
there.
more to go.
So it kind of slows down a little bit towards the end, for sure.
Oh yeah, but it's a very bingeable show.
Paul Rudd is the best part of the
Yeah.
last 2 seasons.
I haven't gotten
which
to
is
him yet.
amazing.
I haven't gotten to him yet.
But I've seen every episode, probably
Sure.
a good like 10, 20 times.
Sure,
ish.
sure.
Like I'm an avid watcher.
Yeah. But have you seen an episode of Joey?
No.
That's your next thing.
Never.
That's what you got to do. You got to watch the
haven't
2
either.
seasons
I don't
of Joey.
think I ever want to though.
No, you
like,
should to be a completionist.
But I'm not a completionist.
But you
But it's not
should.
you, Hector.
So that, in case anybody's ever having a conversation with
Joey
friends,
show.
you could be like, so that Joey show.
You know how many times that's happened in my life?
A lot.
Zero
A lot.
times.
It's happened so many times that I even forgot it was a show.
Exactly. It's happened so many times because nobody ever
Yeah.
watched that show
Yeah.
that we have zero conversations.
I
about.
did just get Shudder. I added Shudder as a streaming
The horror-
service.
the horror one, right?
one.
Yeah.
I got a copy of Crawl a little bit early, and with that came a 3-month trial of Shudder. So I started yesterday.
cool.
It's good till January 31st.
How is
Is
it?
it good?
So far, it's great.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
they were
Okay.
playing all the Halloween movies, but they have what I didn't expect to find was so many horror films, not just American, but there's Canadian,
Oh,
they're
cool.
all over the
Interesting.
world.
That's dope.
Okay, international.
It's a very huge library of stuff.
Okay.
And they have the Creep Show, which is kind of like a sequel to the movie, but it's a series. But it brings back some people from the original movie. It's like the first. The movie was like the first thing that Stephen King ever wrote for like cinema and
Yeah,
stuff.
cool.
But it's a really cool series. It's a fun anthology series. But yeah, so I've added that,
Cool.
and then we got Disney Plus coming up really soon.
Dude, it's crazy.
So,
and now we have
so
this. I mean, they dropped some good news on
Some
us here at
really
HBO
good
Max,
news,
like
yeah.
for sure.
Oh, yeah. Still,
For
I'm
sure.
not going to get it.
Wait, you're not going to get it?
Probably not.
So what are your top choices?
Here's what I love about all of the streaming wars is that I'm like, bring it on. Bring on anything you guys want to. I'm comfortable knowing what I want and what I will pay for,
Okay.
and I'm comfortable with my organizational skills that I can
Okay.
kind of handle it.
Gotcha.
I already know I will never get Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Never, because the shows don't interest me that much, even though
Right.
there's good shows on there.
Right.
I know enough people and have enough loved ones that have it that I don't need
Yeah.
it. That if I for real am ever like, God, I need this delivered tomorrow, I
Right.
can borrow their Amazon Prime
Okay.
and also watch shows through their Amazon Prime. But also,
Okay.
I don't want to give Jeff Bezos any more money, and I don't want to put those poor warehouse workers through any more stress to be like, we got to get this Nerdist action figure tomorrow. I'm like,
yeah.
dude, take 2 weeks. I don't give a shit. Take your time.
It's okay, Hector. If it's not you, it's some other schmuck.
Yeah.
Whatever.
yeah.
Never
I'm sorry,
getting that.
I buy things a lot off Amazon.
I mean, look at all of our packages.
I know.
I'm never
buy a
getting.
lot.
I'm never getting Hulu because I'm patient and
Oh,
I'm
I
fine
hate
with
Hulu.
I'm fine with not having to watch the episodes of a TV show the day after.
Yeah.
Right now on Netflix, I caught up with The Good Place, and I'm like, cool. I'm gonna wait for Netflix to get the last season of The Good Place, and then I'll watch it. So the ones I have are Netflix. I have doesn't count, but I'm counting it. Marvel Unlimited
Okay.
to read Marvel comics.
Right.
I have DC Universe
Okay.
to read DC comics and all the DC stuff.
Okay.
Which I'm like, yeah, those two are some of my favorite brands. So
Right.
yes, I'll get that. I said I had Netflix. I'm gonna get Disney Plus because
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just a bunch of shit that I love. Obviously, clearly.
Yeah.
And then right now I don't currently have, but I will get it again. CBS All Access for Trek. So right now there's no Trek, and there hasn't been a new Trek thing for a few months.
Right.
Even though they're putting out these short Treks once a month, I'm like, tell you what, when Picard starts going weekly, I'm gonna re up and get some more CBS All Access, and then I'll catch up on like the little shorts that I missed.
Right.
But even when I had CBS All Access, the only other thing that interested me was like the old classic Mission Impossible show, and I gave it one season, which was still way too much, and I'm like, no, I'm out, don't care.
Right.
Cancel that, cut that, done.
Okay.
And right now I'm like, I'm fine with just that. I think that's all that
That's
I have.
kind of a lot, though, Hector.
It is, but again, one of those things was just comics, Marvel Unlimited.
Okay.
CBS I don't have currently. So right now I'm just working on Netflix.
Yeah.
And will get Disney Plus. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. And like I said, I don't have Hulu or Amazon. And
What
a bunch of
about
people
you?
are like, gotta have Hulu. I'm like, no.
Well,
No, Hulu's garbage.
because we watch TV here mostly.
Yeah.
My DC Universe account is connected, but the rest, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. Well, I guess the Shudder account is also mine.
Right.
It's Zach's.
Okay.
So we basically have everything here.
You do have everything.
Yeah,
there.
we have
This,
everything.
Right.
this is you can't ask Adam because he's not like a normal person. He's working where he lives, and
Yeah,
it's his
exactly.
big entertainment thing. So
Yeah.
each
Yeah.
one of these types of places should have everything.
Yeah, and we're
I
getting
agree,
Disney
yeah,
Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
So
you got
I
nothing.
have what do I have? Well, I have Amazon Prime because
Yeah.
I'm a Prime member.
Right.
No more Netflix. I still pay for View actually.
View?
Canceled.
Yeah, I know.
Getting
so
canceled.
PlayStation View has
Oh,
like their
yeah.
own little kind of basic
Which was like
cable
live
thing.
TV.
Yeah, it was
That's
really great.
right.
It was really great because we watched 90 Day Fiance and we're obsessed with it.
Dude,
and
that's
how
how I
we get
watched
it.
all my Kings games live.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They have great sports packages if
Yeah.
you're into
Yep.
sports.
I'll
but
never
I
get it.
only watch hockey, so like I don't care about everything
Yeah.
else.
Right. And so they're actually canceling their service by the end of the year. So that's going bye-bye. What else? I have free Hulu through my Spotify account because I
Dope.
pay for Spotify.
There you go.
But that's kind of
Well, once you get
really.
Disney Plus,
And
you'll
then
have. Are you gonna get the
Disney
Hulu
Plus.
attached to it, or?
I don't know because my roommate, she's getting the student price for it, and she was
Gotcha.
like, "Yeah, you can have an account if you want." So I was like,
Yeah.
"Freaking awesome!"
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
So I'll
But
be able to watch
see,
it.
you're describing what I think the norm should be, which is each family should figure out and divvy it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No
I
one
agree.
person should have 8 of these things.
No.
Like, you should
Right,
be
right,
living
right.
with people.
Yeah.
And then if those people, if they have a Hulu, cancel your Hulu.
Spread it out.
What
Spread
you know
it
what I
out.
mean? What are you doing? Spread it
Yeah.
out. Exactly.
That's kind of what I have. Like,
Yeah.
my mom has the Netflix account. I use it on like my computer and my
Right,
own
right,
TV, and then I have Amazon Prime, so she uses my Prime account.
There you go.
Right,
And
There you
Disney
go.
Plus
Share.
will probably be the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, all
Share.
that sort of stuff.
All right.
But when it
So
comes to HBO Max,
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Where does this fit into everything that we
I
have?
think first of all, if you're really, it's really tough. But I think if you're going to try to compete with Disney and Netflix, $14.99 is kind of a high price in my opinion.
Steep, homie. That's steep.
It's a little high. And one of the big things that they said when I was watching the conference was they don't want to just put anything on there. They really want to curate their collection and put things that people will watch. So they want to focus on obviously DC, CW, classics from the Warner Brother archive. That includes stuff from like Turner Classic Movies, Criterion Collection, all that great stuff. And then obviously like their proper archive of cinema, like things that are huge, like movies like Shining and all that stuff, 2001: A Space Odyssey, basically anything that they own that has brought huge value and sort of like notice to the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Same thing goes with television shows. Obviously things like Friends, Sopranos, Game of Thrones, all that stuff. And on top of that, they're going to be obviously producing brand new pieces of content. I'm really curious to see when it comes to the DC stuff, where DC and Universe and HBO Max, like where that line's going to be blurred. So they greenlit a second season of Doom Patrol.
Right.
Yep.
But it's not exclusively DC Universe.
Right.
It's going to
Right.
also simultaneously
be on
debut
both,
on
right?
HBO Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
And once that season premieres on HBO Max, they'll also bring season 1 onto there. So, and the tweets were also very interesting because they were like, oh, we believe like everything deserves a second chance.
Right.
Basically saying that like without the help of HBO Max, HBO, Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
DC Universe wouldn't have been able to support and finance a second season.
Okay.
So it really
Okay.
makes me wonder, like, what does this hold for the future of DC Universe? Will it
I don't
continue to
know.
exist on its own?
Exactly.
Or will they create some sort of a way where, like, cool, you pay $14.99 as an additive, here's access to the DC Universe app?
I have
don't
a
know.
feeling it's gonna. They'll just merge
Eventually,
together
I
at a-
think
at a
so,
certain
yeah.
point.
Hopefully,
But
I
what's-
get to keep a job, you guys.
What's gonna suck is if they get rid of that comic book archive though on DC
Yeah.
Universe because
Yeah.
that's really helpful as well.
Yep.
You know, you'll still have a job. You should.
I hope so.
You will.
I did. I made a joke at work the other day, like after all the announcements, and I was
Yeah.
like, guys, what's going on? Is this show going to turn into HBO Max daily? And they were like, ha 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 ha.
Oh, God.
You're like, no,
It's
but
like-
for real, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
kind of like, okay, all right, I guess I'll know whenever I need to know. So
Yeah.
Well, there's always going to be. So part of the reason why I'm very interested in this as well is because of the DC stuff. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
I don't think that they are going to just completely like phase it out where they're just like, no, we're not
Sure.
going to be Like they know the value that this whole DC stuff
and they
holds.
talked about that. Like it's one of their most valuable things that they own.
Right, exactly.
Cool.
So that will continue. You will have a job. People will
Hopefully.
still, because you don't live on HBO Max. You live on
true.
YouTube. And so that's why that thing is going, right?
Yeah.
And so they understand the value. I think this is a great opportunity for them to start their own little kind of like how Disney is doing their Disney Plus Marvel universe. They can do that
instead of a
here.
Marvel thing.
Right.
It's all Disney.
It's
Right.
all Disney.
And I guess
yeah.
instead of just a specific DC thing, Warner Brothers decided to use the name HBO Max.
Right,
Sure.
exactly.
Because that's more appealing to people, I guess, than like Warner Media.
Right,
something.
exactly. The Warner
'Cause
Brothers group.
nobody cares
Yeah.
about the name Warner
The Warner
Brothers
Media
anymore. But I'll tell you what,
Service,
if y'all had rebooted Animaniacs earlier, maybe people would like the name Warner Brothers.
Maybe some Freakazoid. Maybe give respect to your boy Bugs Bunny.
That's
who
what I'm
helped build
saying.
Your empire.
That's what I'm saying.
Homie,
Where's
you're
Daffy
dissing
Duck?
him. Dissing
Where's
him.
Daffy Duck right now?
Well, they did announce that they're going to be doing new things with the Looney Tunes
Good.
characters on HBO Max.
Okay,
Don't-
that's
So
good.
we'll see.
F it up.
Don't
I
F
know,
it up.
I know.
But
at
I,
the same time, yes.
I do love that Warner Brothers and HBO Max is showing love to their DC side. Absolutely. And if all of that means that more eyeballs will get on this stuff, more eyeballs
Right.
will get on a show
Right.
like Doom Patrol, great. I guess Warner Brothers like putting all their eggs in the DC basket and being like, all the DC fans will get it and sign up for it. I guess not enough people did. I have no idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's from everything that I know, just from working inside it, everybody's happy with everything. But that's just what they sort of tell me.
Right.
I do wish that that the DC. Here's what I know. I've seen multiple articles that say like since 2016 wasn't a great. It was kind of a low point for like public awareness and public view of the brand of DC.
Okay.
It's kind of a low point. People are like, oh, okay, that's not for me. That's this kind of specific thing. That's not for, I'm not interested in that. Since then, with things like DC Universe and their community management and their community outreach and kind of, building all of that, plus
Right.
adding all of those comics
Right.
and making shows like Doom Patrol
Right.
and Titans and bringing back Young Justice, all that is like for the fans.
Right.
So it's been on this steady uphill, climb,
Uprise, yeah.
upswing. It's been great. It's been great. And
up there.
and it bums me out because in my brain, being a DC fan is a no-brainer.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
To me, since I was a kid, I'm like, I would absolutely sign up for XYZ if there was, if there's something DC. And people go, I don't know, those shows don't look good. And I'm over here going, yeah, but they got every episode of Batman Brave and the Bold.
Right, exactly.
And people are like, I don't give a shit about
Murder
old
Master,
stuff.
Batman Beyond.
I don't care about cartoons, Hector.
Green
And I'm
Lantern
like,
animated series. Come on.
thank you. So anyway, it's just still, it will always be, as a DC fan, this, frustrating when not everybody in the world loves DC the way you do.
Right.
And everything's not a runaway success.
Right.
Right. In the way that you want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a bummer, but
Yeah.
because it's again, you hear the news of these new shows being launched,
Right.
and I saw a lot of people going, "Well, wait, shouldn't these types of shows be premiering on DC Universe? Wasn't that sort of the point
Right.
of
Right,
that kind of a
right.
thing?" But if all this means that DC can continue and can keep making new shows with Warner Brothers money, and the only way they'll do it is if they go, "Well, we want more people to see it, so it's going to be on HBO Max." Great.
That's the thing, though. If they don't give these shows more money, they are clearly going to be blown out of the water. Right now, we're in a huge shift from TV
Yeah.
to this new universe, and Disney Plus is setting the bar.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian looks like a movie from start to finish. It
Yeah.
looks like it's going to have a really high production value. When they talk about the Green Lantern being in the Berlanti-verse, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But is it going to be television writing? Is it
Right.
going to be television production? Because this last episode of Titans had me like, why does this episode exist right now?
Right.
I'm not paying attention and I'm losing interest in the show.
As opposed to Warner Brothers has just announced that J.J. Abrams has been signed for an exclusive contract, and the first thing he's doing is a Green Lantern show.
Right.
You'd go, oh,
Okay.
shit,
Right.
that's a movie.
Power players.
That's going to be movie,
Yeah.
power players. And no disrespect to Berlanti and the Berlantiverse. That
Right.
stuff is great, and I enjoy the heck out of it.
Right.
But I do look at that and I go, okay, that feels like it's going to be TV with a budget
Exactly.
versus playing with the big boys versus
right.
really coming out of the gate with
Right.
like, we love DC and
Right.
Warner Brothers is investing money in it.
Right,
They're going,
exactly.
we found the guy who can make a show under budget, and that's Greg Berlanti, and he's
Yeah.
very successful. And
Right.
it's like, cool. He's the TV show guy.
Right.
I don't necessarily see Berlanti as like the he has that sort of DC DNA running through his veins, and he's the right man to bring all of these properties. He's amazing at making CW shows. Yep. Even Titans, a lot of the times, feels like a CW show.
Yeah.
You know, for better and for worse.
Cynthia was listening to the episode as I was listening to it today. Yeah. She's like, that writing is terrible. I'm like, yeah, it is, but you kind of have to get used to that in these shows, which I don't even think about anymore.
Sure.
But to her, and I'm assuming any new watchers, it's going to be off-putting.
Right.
Because I'm paying for this service at this point. I need some production value here. Like, otherwise, I'm just going to jump ship.
Well, I think that's part of the thing with those, with Titans and Doom Patrol specifically, because Greg Berlanti is still a producer on those shows as well. So I think that's why you have a little bit of like that bleed over of like, it's got a little CW-ness, but it also feels a little bit more like high budget.
It does.
It does. Titans feels the most high budget of all of them that I've seen. Like the VFX are great. The writing is really good sometimes, but then you have episodes where you're just like, this is just standard run-of-the-mill filler episode television, which at this point in the game
we shouldn't be having.
We don't have time for. Like I'm not into that shit, and that's a quick way to turn me off.
Every episode needs to like move the plot forward.
Yes, it's just like writing an 8-hour movie or a 13-hour, whatever you're doing. Everything needs to move the plot forward.
Yeah.
Where I hate the 26 episode. We need to
Slum.
fill
9
episodes with
what? It look, and again, you love this show. And I love the show, but all of these things we're talking about still feel as though they have the DNA of Smallville.
Exactly.
Which was a different era of television versus like,
it was like one of the first to kind of do that.
For sure, but it's like, dude, you got to be Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Like
That's
you gotta throw down. You
Right.
cannot just do, okay, so we have a budget and we're filming in Vancouver because it saves money and tax breaks and I'm already like, okay.
It can't be business as usual.
For sure. It's always raining in Keystone City where the Flash lives because it's Vancouver. Like that level of production.
You gotta look at things like Stranger Things.
Right.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You got to be
Chernobyl,
Breaking Bad. You got to be
those
Stranger Things. You got to be Chernobyl. At the very least, you gotta shoot for that Game of Thrones.
Right.
You know.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a high bar.
It is a high bar. It is. But look, dude. That Lord of the Rings show that's coming out.
Yeah.
You know it's trying to be Game of Thrones.
Absolutely.
It's not trying to be like, guys, good news. We're filming in Vancouver. They know. They're like, we have
We're going to New Zealand.
You know what I'm saying? It's like that level of, well, why does Lord of the Rings get that same love that like Green Arrow and the Flash and the Teen Titans and all these other characters that I love don't get that same love?
Right, exactly.
Because somebody up at the top decided, that's not as good as Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings made a bunch of money.
Right.
Nobody knows what this is. Here you go.
I'm like,
it's $50.
Here's
all
scraps.
Right. And I enjoy that stuff.
Yeah.
I love the hell out of it, man. Right now I'm watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. from the beginning.
Right.
It is a fun time. And you know why it's so fun? Because as I'm watching it and I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of it, it's only season 1, I'm going, this feels like this is a different era of television. This is that Smallville style.
Yes.
And already I'm thinking, oh, dude, Falcon and Winter Soldier started production today.
It's going to be.
You know what I'm saying?
You know
what I'm saying? So I'm like,
banger.
I'm enjoying this Marvel TV and I'm just watching it and I'm hoping like, man, Ming-Na is amazing. I hope that she can keep playing this. You know what I mean? I'm like,
me in the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Whoa, very exciting. But specifically some of these characters, I'm like, these characters are great. It'd be cool if they were more in the movies and so on. Anyway, we have digressed.
No, we haven't though, because
that's what this is about.
Because that's what this is about. HBO Max and the Warner Brothers team needs to bring the heat because everybody else is doing that. And that's what's going to justify a $15.99 price tag.
Here's what I want to know. Here's the $14.99 price tag.
Yeah, $14.99.
Okay, I want from each of you talking about the heat. I want a level of heat 1 through 10 after each one of these things that I say. Okay, level of heat.
Counter. Let's do it. I'm so into it.
DC will include films of the last decade and Batman, Superman movies since 1978. Level of heat.
I mean, that's like a 10
for
me because I
love
those
That's a 10
movies.
for you?
Okay.
But again, don't you already
10?
own all the ones you love on Blu-ray? Be practical, man.
Sure.
So what's the heat? 7? Simmering 7? 8?
Like a 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
This is including Suicide Squad?
Well, so
DC films of the last decade, yes.
So it's every superhero movie they made from the last decade, including the Dark Knight trilogy.
Really kind of cools the heat a little bit. Kind of like
this is the brand.
Throws a little bit of water on there.
Give me a number.
I'm gonna say 7 because there are some good. There's some bangers
respectable.
in there. There's some bangers in there.
And you go back and you watch Batman Forever. There's
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
but I own them all on 4K Blu-ray. So I'm like,
right. But I don't.
Exactly.
There you go.
I don't want to borrow them from you
because
I don't want to ruin your discs.
Next one.
That's gonna be a
Heat.
good one.
Let's piss off YouTube again. Joker will debut at launch. Level of heat, go.
I'll own it, so I don't care.
You'll own it. Augustine.
I'm gonna say about a 5, only because I've seen so many people enjoy this movie and have conversations with him where I'm like, I'll go in a little bit, like in a different
You'll try it
perspective
again?
next time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. For that top one, my level of heat is a 5. For Joker, my level of heat is a 3.
Okay.
And I think it's very cool that it's debuting at launch. It's just a project I'm not interested in.
I think it's great that
Yes.
it's going to be debuting
Smart.
there. Yeah.
Okay, the Greg Berlanti shows that he's developing 2 DC-related series for the service. First one, Strange Adventures, quote, an anthology series of cautionary tales set in a world where superpowers exist. Level of heat.
So this is also tough because they
We need heat.
They tweet.
We need heat.
They redid their tweets 3 times about this show.
Really?
Okay.
First, it made it sound like it was Strange Adventures, the old comic book anthology series. But then
Yeah.
it was like, oh, it's about heroes throughout the DC universe. But then another one was like, oh, it's about Adam Strange and DC heroes. So I'm like, okay, which one is it? If it's Adam Strange and exploring the DC universe, then
Yeah.
it's like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah.
Because I want to see more of that.
Yeah, but if it's okay,
If it's Strange
so
Universe,
this comes with an asterisk.
The comic book series, the anthology series from the 20s or 30s.
Yeah.
It's like a 7. Like
Sure.
I'm still excited.
That's just all confusing at this point, but I don't really know too much about it. So
If it's
heat
Greg-
factor's a 5 because it's a question mark.
if it's
There we
Greg
go.
Berlanti, I would assume it's Adam Strange.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it up to a 7.
Okay.
Because I like anthology.
Right.
And I feel like that should have happened a long time ago with a live-action superhero property
Okay.
and anthology.
Okay.
And all those other factors.
Okay.
Green
Keep it moving.
Lantern.
Keep it
Green
moving.
Lantern.
Guys, come on.
Show, which promises to be our biggest DC show ever made. We will be going to space with a Green Lantern television series, but I can't reveal any more about that just yet. Green Lantern, the series, live action. Level of heat.
Level of heat off of this premise is
Yeah.
a 7.
Yeah.
Potentiality-wise,
Yes.
it's a 15. It's like it could get up to 20 if
That's
they
a
treat
blue
it-
flame.
If they exactly,
That's hot.
That could be the Saint flame. That could be all the flames mixing together and making a white flame.
Whoa.
I think you just unlocked a new Green Lantern color. No, you
Phoenix
didn't.
Force.
No,
yeah.
the White Lantern is all
The
of
White
them-
Lantern.
all of them combined together.
Ion.
remember? Yeah.
Level of heat, my friend. Are you a big Green Lantern guy?
I'm frustrated because I want this to be a movie.
Same, dude.
I was
Okay.
excited.
Same,
I
dude.
was excited when it came out. I was like, I think they're gonna. The trades were reporting that they're gonna announce a new Green Lantern thing. I was like,
Yeah.
they're gonna make an original movie for HBO Max. That would be
Yeah.
sick.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
It's like Greg Berlanti's doing a Green Lantern TV show. At first,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's like a 4 or 5. But then I think about the fact it's like, okay, they're gonna put some money behind it.
Sure.
Hopefully they'll really be able to work out a good story. Then I'm like, okay, it's gonna inch itself towards an 8, and when it debuts, hopefully it's a 10.
Yeah. Right now, I'm at a 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
7 for
Yeah.
those exact same reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
It does not mean that one cancels the other, but I
Right.
absolutely, as a DC fan, have been so frustrated with movies. I'm like, you guys are moving like molasses.
Oh, yeah,
you
they
guys,
are.
That
you
movie
guys,
was supposed to come out next year.
you guys are greenlighting Fantastic Beasts faster than you're greenlighting like your amazing characters and
Yeah.
worlds.
Right.
And Green Lantern should
I
have
don't think
been
they realize the potential they have with
know.
the Green
Potentiality.
Lantern,
Doom Patrol Season 2 will be on HBO Max and DC Universe simultaneously. I'm at a 7. I enjoyed the first season. Heat.
Adam, quick fire. Quick
Okay.
fire. Have not seen it yet.
Okay, so
it's a-
5
it's a
question
null.
mark?
It's a 5. It's a question mark.
Elizabeth Banks is developing, DC Superhero High, a half-hour comedy based on DC Comics characters about a group of students, quote, experiencing the fun and drama of adolescence at a boarding school for gifted kids. These teens are just trying to navigate the pressures of high school, but none of them realize that someday they will become legendary DC superheroes. So does that mean like Clark Kent,
Like young
Bruce Wayne,
young
Diana
Diana.
Prince
All in
in
the
a high
same high school.
So I'm at a. This is really tricky because Emily
Sorry,
is
Emily.
freaking out over
Sorry,
there,
Emily, I'm
and
at
I
a
He's like,
three.
it's a 10. It's a
and
fucking
I
10.
and I love that. That's the thing I love about this is that happened.
Right.
Is that she's so damn excited about it, and I think that the comics and the animated DC superhero girls is great.
Right.
I love that whole brand. I think it's so smart to have that something for younger audiences. The thing about this that frustrates me is this going to try to be Riverdale?
Right.
Which again tried to take the
Like
Archie
drama.
world, tries to take the
Yeah.
Archie world and tries to sex it up to try to make it appeal
Right,
to young
right,
people,
right, right.
and I'm not a fan of that.
Or is this going to live as what it is in like silliness with teenage superheroes?
What was that DC show that came out like a year or two ago with Vanessa Hudgens?
Powerless?
Yes.
I worry about that as well. And I also, guys, again, even though we love Smallville, it's like they already did it.
Right.
And now this is, and remember the follow-up to that in some regards was Gotham, which
Yeah.
was Teen Bruce without being Batman.
Right.
And it's like, how well did that work? How well would I trust
According to some of the comments, it works brilliantly.
How well
Moving
would I
on.
trust? Here's the real key. Honestly, I love Elizabeth Banks.
Of course.
I think she's fantastic. I think she's a great actor. I think she's a great producer, and she knows what's up.
Right.
But she, outside of being in certain superhero projects, like she's not a comic book writer or editor, or you know what I mean. Like she is definitely producer brain coming into this with producer brain.
Right.
If this was a project that was announced coming from DC Comics,
Right.
and they're like, here's a new comic line, I'd be like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you have on it?
Right.
Who's writing? Who's the art?
Right.
Who's the artist? Because
Right.
that I'm like, I want to see
We're gonna
y'all
adapt that comic book into
that
a
are
show.
that are
Right.
in the world. Put your take on it versus that outsider perspective of like, well, we're
Wouldn't
just
it be
gonna
funny
do
if we did superheroes in high
bloop,
school?
and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, but it also only worked for a season when outsiders tried to do superheroes and they did heroes.
Right.
That worked for one season, and then they were like, we don't know this
We
world.
don't know what to do
We
now.
don't know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for this, I'm at a 6.5, between a 6 and a 7. Excited because of Elizabeth Banks. I want more talent. I want to know what this is going to be like because it's a boarding school and it has the potential to be Flintstone Kids. Do you know what I mean? It has the potential to be like a pup named Scooby Doo, which are like things I liked, but it's also like for every Muppet Babies, we get a bunch of like, like I said, Gotham, and like we get like for every one that's good, we get like 6 that are like, here's your favorite characters when they're young, and it sucks.
Right.
And it sucks.
I'm at like a 2 or a 3. I'm gonna have to see something.
Me too.
My logical brain wants me to go 2 and 3, possibly even 1, because I don't want to see this stuff anymore. But at the same time, my actual brain is saying, you fucking love Teen Titans Go, dude. Like,
And it's hilarious.
It's one of the best things that I've ever seen.
You know what I?
But
Yeah.
Look, we need to watch something first.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Adam. It's not that, but it could be. I don't want to talk crap because it
for
could
sure,
be something.
and we don't know
great.
what it is yet. And again, to bring it around to this point, Supergirl, the TV show, I really enjoyed. That is not for me.
Right.
That is not made for me, and that's
Right.
okay. Not DC is not a monolith.
Right.
Not everything that they make should be for everybody.
Right.
So this is to you, anybody that's watching right now. If you loved Joker,
Right.
and you feel that because we didn't love it as much, or if I didn't like it as much, or whatever, that we're not good DC fans, how do you feel about Birds of Prey?
Right.
Because I'm at a 10 for that. Like, I'm stoked for that, and that's okay if you feel differently. But understand, like, if you are claiming allegiance and loyalty to one thing,
Right.
that's impossible. You can't do it across the board, especially for a brand this diverse. They
This
have
big,
different projects for different reasons. And if this is something that is for a younger audience and it gets them into DC,
Then
something
do
like
it
Young
up.
Justice,
I don't care.
then do it up.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Exactly.
like a lot of big shoes to fill. I'm talking Young Justice. I'm talking
Right, right,
Smallville. You know, a lot of different angles you could hit. I mean, even Teen Titans Go is
Right.
big shoes to fill.
Right.
The thing that would make me really, really, really excited about this is if they were like, this will be a comedy.
Right.
But it says right
Right.
there, experiencing the fun and drama. And I'm like, if you just leaned into the cheese of Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, Diana Prince,
Yeah.
Barry Allen,
Right.
Hal Jordan, Arthur Curry, John Jones, all going to the same high school.
Right.
You know
That
how
could
this
be
would,
fun.
You know how
That
this
would be
would
fun.
really work for me?
How?
If it had the style and the visual aesthetic of Scott Pilgrim versus the
That
World.
dude,
my
now
God, are
okay.
you
Now
kidding
I'm
me?
like,
Let's
it's
talk
a
about
10.
it.
kidding me?
Let's talk
Come
about it. If
on.
it was full comic booky
Yeah.
while still being
Yeah.
that, oh.
Right. Right.
Then I'd be like,
See?
I'm 100%
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
board.
That's why though.
That's what I'm talking about.
But when it sounds like the description of Powerless, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, when it sounds like every
Yeah.
other CW TV show here, I'm just like, what am I looking
Yeah.
for here? Because I've seen that TV show hundreds of
And
times
it had
already.
like the promotional image they used on stage was very generic. It was like ripping open a shirt, and it was like DC superheroes, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Superhero
cool.
High,
Yeah.
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 Which I'm like, okay, I know a lot of people love Sky High,
Yeah.
Right.
but like, are you going to be Sky High, which is like a 15-year-old movie at this
Yeah,
point,
right,
or
right.
are you going to be Scott Pilgrim? That's what
Oh.
I love that. I love that idea.
I love that Edgar
If-
Wright actually
sure.
commented on your thing.
Oh, that was
Oh,
hilarious, by the way.
yeah.
That was amazing.
Dude,
did it.
You fucking.
We did it.
That was
That was
brilliant,
awesome.
dude.
Okay.
Go back and watch our commentary on Scott Pilgrim versus the
Yes.
World. You'll hear the moment Hector births this idea.
I'm going
that-
to tweet it.
That Edgar Wright.
I'm going to tweet at him.
The Edgar Wright tweets.
Edgar Wright was like, "That's an amazing idea."
Here's my idea.
Yep.
And he was like, that's good. Oh,
That's
God,
awesome.
I hope it happens.
That's
I hope it
awesome.
happens. Last
Yeah.
one for the Heat.
Yes.
Superman and Lois.
Yes, but this is not an HBO Max show.
Oh, well then the Heat's done.
The Heat.
So
The
it's.
Heat's done.
I feel
This
like
is-
for
that's
me
all
it's simmering
CW.
at like a 6 or 7. That's where my Heat
My
is.
average. Your
Okay.
average.
So how do you guys feel How do you guys think if the higher ups heard us?
Yeah.
How do you think they would react to all our excitement levels to all this stuff?
Well,
like,
look,
it's tough, right?
Well, I hope they steal the Scott Pilgrim idea.
Yes,
please,
well,
and
first of all,
run
do
with
that.
it.
Do that.
Sprint with it.
But secondly, I'll say I'm not the person you should be getting because I'm not
I'm
going to
already
get.
on DC Universe.
I'm already on DC Universe, and I'm somebody who likes physical media.
Hector,
I'm your
want
worst
you, though.
nightmare.
They want
no,
all of
they
us.
don't. I'm a dinosaur. I'm your worst nightmare. Don't listen to me or my opinions because if you're trying to get a general audience, cast a wide net, then keep doing that. Keep making movies that don't connect with me, but it's rated R and become the highest grossing rated R movie. Cool, man. Put some of that money towards some other DC stuff. I love it if y'all invested back in DC to something that I could really, really, really love. But don't listen to me. This is for people that is everybody. I already know the stuff that I love, the DC movies that I love. I'm already buying them on Blu-ray. So I'm not your person.
Okay.
And I honestly don't know if HBO Max could do anything to get me other than straight up hiring me. And then I'd be like, cool, I'll get this service. Like,
I'll get this shit off
but
the
that's
ground.
not an insult. It's just me going, I'm out. And I already know I'm out. I'm not trying to pay $90 for streaming services a month. I don't want cable. So I've already decided the ones I'm dealing with. And I already said up top what I'm doing.
Okay.
I think for me personally, I know I will definitely at least do like some sort of a trial run, whether it's for a month or two, to see what catalog of stuff they really have in there. But yeah, like Hector's saying, most of the DC stuff, I'm the same way. I get all the physical copies. I have 4K copies of everything that I want. If it's not in 4K, I patiently wait for it to come out in 4K, whether it's a remaster or whatever it is. The Green Lantern series, as much as I am intrigued and excited for it, I will get the series. I will get the streaming service when that probably comes out or around the time it comes out.
Okay.
So then I can kind of use that trial period to watch it.
Right.
Yeah.
But Doom Patrol, I'll watch it on DC Universe. Superhero High, I'll just be patient. I'll wait and see what people say about it.
Okay.
Everything else that I want as like a comic book DC fan, I will get on DC Universe or I already have in my collection. When it comes,
I will try each one of these shows. Once their first season is done, then I'll get the thing and try it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When it comes to the archive of Warner Brothers, I actually own. I think the most movies that I own in my collection are Warner Brothers movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anything that you throw,
Blade Runner Day. Today's Blade Runner Day.
Blade Runner Day.
Oh yeah.
Blade Runner, anything that's Kubrick that Warner Brothers did, I own all that stuff. So there's not a whole lot that's really gonna pull me in. Like I buy the Criterion Collection. We also do have it on streaming, but I like to own them as well. So like right now, there's not too much pulling me towards HBO Max.
Okay.
But I will definitely, if there's a trial, I will try the trial.
Yeah.
I will run through it and I'll demo it.
Okay. I'm having a hard time having anybody pull me into their service just in general.
Again, I think that you just know what you want.
Yeah, I think I know what I want only because I feel like I don't. First of all, it's going to end up being cable money anyway. Like I don't want to keep paying that. To me, it's a monetary thing where I could
if you're
just
paying $150, it's like why don't I just have
Yeah, why don't I just go buy it?
Yeah.
Buy what I want to pay for, and then I'll have it. The only thing that's intriguing me is if. Like, I want to be a Looney Tunes a completionist. I want to see them all. I want to see everything they have, and I want to own it eventually, because it's a big collection.
Yeah.
I just want to have that in my archive somewhere. So if this gives me, like, a list or it gives me, like, a trial or I'm able to...
Or you can, like, go through, like, that's what I need to buy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like, that's what I need. I'm eventually just going to want to buy it anyways.
There you go.
Same.
But there's not a lot pulling me towards this one. I might pull Cynthia because if it's the only service that has Friends, we're probably going to
have to get it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people like that who are diehard.
Yeah. So, I think you're right. We're not necessarily the best people to ask for advice because it's like whatever I want, I will own.
Yeah.
Even all the CW shows, like I own most seasons on Blu-ray. If I want to watch them on the go, I will go on Hulu or something.
There is one thing.
Yeah.
There's one thing they could do, but they will not do it.
What?
If they were like, also, we're going to have a bunch of stuff that is in 3D on the service. And if you have a 3D TV, you could stream it and watch it.
Bro, can I tell you something?
And if they did that, and even if they announced that quietly, I would be like, you got me.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I almost shit myself last night.
Why?
Because
Why?
I went on Shudder
Uh-huh.
and I was scrolling through. There's a movie called Found Footage.
They got 3D movies? That's a 3D movie?
And it's done by someone who I follow on Twitter. And I can't remember exactly who it is. They have a 2D version, a 3D version that's anaglyph,
Yeah.
and a 3D version that's for 3D TVs.
For passive? or
Yeah.
active glasses.
Whoa.
And I was like,
whoa,
okay,
dude.
if Shudder,
Yes.
a service that is niche
Shudder
as fuck,
can
do
do it.
this,
Then
there's no reason that Disney
Warner
Plus, Netflix,
Media.
Warner,
Dude, I agree, dude.
Yeah.
there's no
Wouldn't that be
reason.
so
There
tight if there was a
literally is
3D
no
tab?
reason.
If there was a
Guys.
3D tab?
We should start our own 3D streaming service. I'm just saying.
Nobody cares.
It's so
Hector, come on,
Avatar-
man.
Avatar
That's
was
not the attitude a billionaire has.
Avatar is coming to
Yeah.
Disney Plus on launch day, and I'm
Yeah.
like, cool, but I won't be able to watch it in 3D.
I saw that announcement
I
too, and I was
guarantee you
just
it won't
like,
be.
I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I was like,
I'm like, James Cameron, do something
guys,
about the 3D, bro.
who cares? Why are you announcing that? It's like, good news, guys. We're gonna put Scott Pilgrim vs. the World,
Yeah.
the sound only
Yeah.
on your
Like,
on the
all
service. It's
right.
like, I don't care.
Yeah,
Just the
So,
sound effects, not even
I
dialogue.
got 3D Avatar in my
Same.
collection.
Yeah.
Like I'm like that's a useless announcement.
Yeah.
Useless announcement.
How do we make this happen? This is something that's
don't know.
hard though, because it's like, yes, I would love to do it, but like you would have to own the
You
licensing
know,
rights. to
I'm
those
trying.
movies.
Here's what needs to happen. Every blogger, every internet movie critic in Los Angeles needs to come to
over.
my house. Because literally every single person that I've had over, I have won them over.
You know what we need to do?
Yeah.
You know how we keep talking about doing a 3D podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to do a 3D podcast.
Yeah,
But
with
the
a
premise needs
guest,
to be
convincing
we bring a
people.
guest on who we convince.
Hachi mama.
We watch
Whoa,
3D
whoa.
at your house.
Hector's boner is out of control.
That's
now
what it
you're
needs to
talking,
be.
and now you're speaking of my language.
We
Ooh,
need to
popularize.
we need to record this at your house, and we need to tell people, okay, today we're watching The Adventures of Tintin in 3D, and then bring somebody on who's a big fan of Tintin
tastes so
to talk about
good.
it.
That's
We're
like food
gonna
to my
convince
ears.
everyone in this town that 3D
That's
is
what I like to
amazing.
hear.
Give me a little taste of the glory.
I haven't seen Hector this fired up in
His-
years.
wow.
In years.
For real,
This table
though.
is going. Huh?
Yep.
For real. Let me just think about the logistics.
Uh-huh.
Let me think on that.
Dude, we have the road recorder here. We just take it over to your house.
I think that this is a possibility.
Oh
I
no,
think that
it's
this-
not a possibility. It's
It's a certainty?
It's an absolute certainty. We have to do
it
this.
can happen easily now, Hector.
We should 100% do this. Let's talk when we're done recording,
Okay,
and we'll figure
okay.
out the
Oh my
logistics
gosh,
of this.
you guys just
You just
witnessed the birth.
history. Gonna change the game. Wow. That's just a great excuse to just watch every Marvel movie again.
With our collections
Yeah.
combined.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Definitely.
Okay.
Dang, so much heat in this room right now,
So
guys.
much
I'm
heat,
sweating.
so much energy.
Sweating.
Okay, HBO Max is done. Last one for the heat index.
Yes.
CW show.
Uh-huh.
Superman and Lois, being developed for the CW, starring Tyler Hoechlin and Elizabeth Tulloch,
Uh-huh.
revolving around the world's most famous superhero and comic books' most famous journalist as they deal with all the stress, pressures, and complexities that come with being working parents in today's society. They're going to have a kid.
It's a 10 because Warner Brothers doesn't give me a fucking movie.
It's a 4 for me. It's a CW show on a relationship
ouch,
again. I'm like,
ouch.
guys, come on. Like,
Okay.
CW shows
I get
automatically on my heat index, it's
Yeah.
below a 5, no matter
I
what.
get it.
Okay. It has to. Okay, you're going to need a little something extra. Okay.
Yeah,
for me,
dude, absolutely.
I'm at a solid 8. Now, the CW-ness of it is what is knocking it
That's
down
what
too.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the premise to me, I was just like, I'm like, yes, that should have been a thing. You guys, if you know how to make TV and you're coming from TV land, one of your first things you did was Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, and it was fine, and it was great for its time, and it cannot age that
for
well.
1993, it's
But
perfect.
it was for 1993, it was amazing, and in many ways, it was like the best depiction of live-action Superman up to that point. So I'm like, yeah, if you're not giving us a movie, do it. And I like those actors a lot. They are wonderful.
That's the thing that's
They're
really winning me over.
wonderful, for real.
I really like Tyler
Yeah.
Hoechlin and Elizabeth Tulloch as those characters.
Elizabeth Tulloch be on Twitter just mad, and I'm like, that's Lois. She's just on there just like,
Yep.
Light-
Tearing
light
into
this
people up.
administration, and I'm like, yes,
Light
Lois
yes.
Lane.
Truth to power.
Yeah.
Okay, heat index for this next story.
Oh, it's like
Adam.
a 45.
Whoa.
All the fuses in my brain blew because it's so hot.
Okay.
Well, we knew this was happening.
Let me back up a little bit.
We knew
Yeah.
this was going to happen.
So it would definitely be a 10.
Yeah.
It's at like an 8, but because of something that we already found out last year, which is it's not Pete Ramsey coming back to
Right,
direct. It's
right,
not
right,
the same
right.
directors.
Right.
But
Yes.
Joaquim Dos Santos has
I
done
mean-
Avatar, Korra, Justice League Unlimited,
Voltron.
Voltron, Legendary Defender.
Yes.
So it's
That's
like
keeping you at
it's
an 8.
keeping me it's like pushing me to a 10 because
Correct.
they got someone who's really good to make this movie.
I am.
What are we talking about, by the way?
We're talking about the Spider-Verse
we haven't
sequel. Today, the announcement was the Spider-Verse sequel is going to be coming out in 2022, the same year as Black Panther 2.
Right.
So somebody was like, cool, we're getting them again in the same year.
Same year as Ant-Man 3, apparently.
I'm excited about it. But we already knew that this was in development, but I guess today was just the date.
The date.
To
April
let us know
8th,
how
2022.
soon we would be getting it. So 3 years from now?
Yeah.
And
good.
I am at a 9 for the same reasons. Mostly the same team, I will imagine. But there's a side of me that likes it. It's not exactly the same team because it's like they told the story they wanted to tell.
Right.
They proved themselves with that
Right.
film. This is going to be
The
Joaquin's
evolution of-
shot.
Yeah.
This is going to
Yes.
be him up to bat. So he's going to
Who-
give it his all.
Hector,
and he's phenomenal.
How is this not a 10 for you, dude? Avatar and Korra and Justice League.
Let me say why.
Come on,
because
homie.
Spider-Verse is the best superhero / comic book movie ever made, and I don't know how you can top it. That's the reality.
It's not about
That's the
topping
reality.
it, though. It's not about topping it. It's about telling another story.
I agree.
And I think an animation guy like this knows that shit.
I don't know how you can possibly tell a story as good as that story was told.
Where does Korra,
That's like saying
where does
that's
Korra
the best
land with
story
Avatar?
you've ever heard.
It's the best story I've ever heard in my
Wow.
life.
Where does
Better
Korra
than
land with
Jesus.
Avatar?
Avatar was less good than...
But
I'm sorry, Korra was less good than the original Avatar: The
but
Last
in
Airbender.
a lot of other ways, it was more good. It was more
In
mature.
other way, it was more mature,
more emotional.
But that's the thing, though.
Yeah.
It presented a different story from
Yes,
the Avatar,
which is great.
So that's the thing. It was not
Yes.
as good, but at the same time, it was not trying to be that.
Which
and
is
that's
key.
that's
Yeah.
what I want. I don't want a rehash of
Same.
Into the Spider-Verse. Like
Same.
I don't want to see that again.
They did say that's going to be the continuation of Miles Morales' story.
Yeah,
So like,
as it should be.
Right. But this is such an open-ended comic booky universe that it can be anything. So part of the reason why I love Spider-Verse so much is the chromatic aberration aspect of everything being
Right.
so creative on that. But when you turn that into a machine and pump everything through that machine, it takes away that excitement. It's just like, cool, you guys are doing that again. When you have new blood in there, you're going to have new ideas, especially a guy with such a legit history of making cool things.
sure.
Yes.
So I have a feeling he is going to take it and run with it in a direction that only he would.
And we haven't even talked about the writer,
David
who
Callahan.
is David Callahan.
He did Wonder Woman 2. He did. He's done a bunch of stuff. He did The Expendables as well,
Oh.
which I liked. I liked the first one. He didn't. I don't think he wrote the sequels, but he wrote.
He
the,
completed a production rewrite for Ant-Man and was hired to write Zombieland Double Tap. He rewrote The Wolfman for
I think he's also writing Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
Oh,
Absolutely.
All right.
absolutely.
So yeah, I mean,
Interesting.
It's like,
And he's had a lot of stuff that he wrote made.
Yeah,
he did
a lot of
Doom
stuff.
screenplay. He wrote Horseman, Telltale, The Expendables 2 and 3 and 1.
Oh,
he
he
did
wrote all three,
he did
wow.
a story for Godzilla, Ant-Man production rewrite, Zombieland Double Tap, and then stuff that hasn't come out yet. Wonder Woman 84, like you said, Shang-Chi. Yeah, so okay. And he was an exec produce on Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
I've heard that's
So-
really good.
I'm sure that he's very, very good.
Yeah.
But here's my pitch. Everyone's like, it's got to be even more Spider people. I'm like, kind of keep it the same amount of Spider persons
Right. Yeah.
with
Right.
just the
Different
addition of
Spider-Men.
just bring in Miguel because he was teased in the
Oscar
post credits, Oscar Isaac.
Right.
But keep the same Spider people because if you just throw more in, I'm like, okay, well then there's really no development for any
Yeah.
of them. Here's
Right.
what I think is going to happen. Instead of them sticking in Miles' universe, they're going to be
Right.
hopping around. They're going to go
That's what I'm
to
guessing.
Spider Ham. They're going to go to Penny Parker. They're
Miles
gonna go,
is
yeah.
going to jump into a different universe,
Love it.
and he is going to be that Spider person helping that other
Yes.
Spider person
Yes.
do things.
Yeah.
You're going to have that attachment. It's going to be great. I just, like I said, I just want them to go in a different direction.
Adam, you take this next. Heat index.
Oh boy, Benioff and Weiss leaving Star Wars. So, as someone who doesn't come from being a lover of Game of Thrones, I've literally only seen the last season and then like 2 additional episodes.
Adam, you're crazy.
I thought it was fine.
I've only seen the first 3 episodes
yeah,
of season 1.
I thought
so.
it was fine. I wasn't like mind blown by it, but I also
Yeah.
wasn't disappointed by it because I don't have that 8 years of history kind of going into it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to them leaving Star Wars, I don't know if like 1 is I'm upset and 10 is I don't care. I'm kind of at a 10.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I never really knew.
10 is I don't care.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I never had any idea of what the hell they were working on,
Then I'll
other
give-
than a rumor of like it might
Yeah.
have been an origin of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Cool.
I will say your heat index is 5.
Sure.
0 should be I'm pissed about this. I love them. They
Okay.
should stay on
Yeah.
there. And 10 should be I'm happy because
Yeah.
I hate
And
them.
5 is like
5
indifferent.
is indifferent.
Okay.
I'm a 5.
Augustine.
So I work with 2 diehard Game of Thrones fans.
Here we go.
And every time the slightest Game of Thrones conversation comes up, they are so angry.
Yeah.
So upset at the fact of what happened.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
The coffee thing, the last episode being like a buddy comedy type
Yeah.
thing. I don't even know what they're talking about because
Sure.
I've never seen it. And so one thing they did tell me about that was alarming was that convention where they didn't show up to, and they had
CCC.
Yeah.
yes, exactly,
Comic-Con.
and they had the cast fall on their sword. That's
Yeah.
fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
That's really messed up, and this news is not surprising to me because dudes like that, that's no integrity. I'm sorry. I wouldn't hang out with a dude like that. I would be upset if any of my friends did that to me, let alone somebody who you're going to have a working relationship with.
Yeah.
Like, that's really shitty to do.
Yeah, we don't know the full story, but it certainly does not look good.
It does.
It certainly does not
Well,
look good.
on top
the way
of that, you
happened.
had like they went to I think it was the Austin Film Festival
Sure.
where they did like a talk about Game of Thrones and what they were working on and Star Wars and all that stuff, and they more or less were like, we had no clue what we were doing. We kind of just flew by the seat of our pants.
Cool.
And thank God it was successful because I
Yeah.
don't know what would have happened with our career.
Right.
That's tough,
Which,
man.
like,
Yeah.
I think there's
Yeah.
two sides of that conversation where it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, in Hollywood, people fail upward.
Yeah.
At the same time, if you're given an opportunity to do something and it ends up being really successful,
Right.
Yeah.
isn't that kind of what we all
Follow
hope
it.
for?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you stumble into something
yes.
that's like, oh shit,
No.
this did really well.
I saw our buddy Cameron Rice was talking about that discussion around qualifications.
Right.
And that is part of the conversation. It's like I'm not necessarily mad that they got this job with whatever they had in their, they
Nothing.
they got it
Right.
for whatever reason. They got it
Yeah.
because like our friend Cameron was saying, a lot of the things that we love and hopefully a lot of opportunities we're chasing
Right.
do come down to like, well, you don't have a lot of experience. Yeah,
Right.
but give it to me,
I
man.
got
I'm hungry.
passion and
I'm
fire.
hungry.
Right,
I'm
right,
hungry.
right.
And I agree with him. I think that that's absolutely true. And I feel like we're used to hearing this conversation with other things. Like
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg, oh, man, that shark did not work in Jaws, and they were flying by the seat of their pants, and
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Right.
Oh, man, Men in Black, there was all these rewrites, and oh, my
Halloween,
God, it was
everything,
cra-
yeah.
but it's amazing. And,
Right,
oh,
right.
Spider-Verse, we didn't know if it was going to work, but we did it, and,
But we did it.
and people
we went
love
for
it.
it. Yeah.
And we're used to hearing that conversation with something we love to then applaud and be like, that's crazy. We love
Right.
that.
Right.
I think maybe they were kind of banking on that a little
Yep.
bit. Not that
Yep.
everybody unanimously loves their show,
Sure.
but I think they were banking on like, oh no, we've
They're
heard.
like, how could we fail? We're the best show that's ever been
This
rated.
book series really popular.
no,
It
I'm
should
saying
be okay.
I'm saying Benioff and Weiss when they were having that
Yeah.
discussion, I think they were saying like, we kind of know how Hollywood works and we've heard this story told before.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we had a similar experience. We would be stressed out. We wouldn't know exactly what we were doing, but we made this show and there it is. And instead of people being like, wow, so cool, everyone was
Right.
like mad.
Yeah.
They're
They're still mad.
Brad Bird, first time live action movie director with Mission Impossible,
Right.
would wake up in the middle of the night and throw up because he was like, I'm going to have Tom Cruise hanging off of the side of a building. Like,
Right.
what am I doing? What am
Yeah.
I doing? And yet, I love that movie.
Right.
And that's a part of the creative process
Right,
sometimes. And
absolutely.
I think Benioff and Weiss were just thinking like that instead of thinking like, oh, this is going to make us look like the biggest assholes
Right.
who are undeserving.
Right.
And again, doesn't look great.
It doesn't. No,
Comic-Con
optics
and that-
are everything.
Optics.
Yeah, it's all optics. And for a company like Disney, say what you will about what they've done in the past about firing and not firing people.
Yeah.
Kind of not being that risk averse
Right.
is that's what it's kind of turned them into. And and in this case, I don't blame them at all. Like these guys, if I was in the position to hire people,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't hire them.
What's your heat index then?
For this,
Is it a 10? Or
For
is
them
it,
being
yeah.
gone?
Yeah,
it's a 10.
yeah. So you're like,
I'm
good
done.
riddance?
Yeah, I'm like, get out of here. Like, dude, if you're gonna treat first of all your actors, the people who worked on your show for that long,
Yeah,
this
you
way,
reminded me about that.
and then the fans, I'm just like, come on, man, like that is not good. That's
Yeah.
not good for anybody.
It-
You're
it-
not
it's-
building anything positive.
It sucks because at Comic-Con, Seth Rogen came out with Preacher,
Right.
and the creators of Preacher came out, and everybody was there, and he was just like, "We're here for our show," and made fun of it.
Exactly.
He's like, "We have no problem facing our fans for our show."
Everybody noticed. Everybody noticed, and these two guys didn't care,
Well, you know
first
what?
of all, and now they're just reaping what they sow.
I was indifferent, Augustine, but you convinced me. Now I think I'm at a 6.57
yeah.
for like heat index for them not being
for not
on that
being
project.
there. Like, it's just going to result in a better probably a better product for us at the end of the day. But
also, I don't know, like, some of the conversations around this whole thing of like, and a lot of it has come from fandom mostly, of people talking about, what does this say about Kathleen Kennedy as a producer and president
Doesn't
of
surprise me.
Lucasfilm?
Oh, God.
What does this say about Disney and how they treat Star Wars? And then you have, Benioff and Weiss, the article that I was reading talking about how, like, a lot of it was because we were terrified of, like, the fandom if we failed and all this sort of stuff. It's like, this is just like, this is just so much heavy stuff. And to me, at the end of the day, it's like, if you are passionate about Star Wars,
do it up.
One, don't give a shit about what the fans say. Like, make what you want to make, because that's what you're being hired for.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
If you want to make a movie about the origin of the Jedi, great.
Make your
write a
origin
good
movie.
story.
Yep.
Write compelling characters. Make me care about them and the story and the themes and the logic.
Absolutely.
And then I will be invested. But if you're like, well, we got to do this because YouTube has to be okay with it, then, like, don't make the fucking movie.
Yeah.
I don't think we would even be on YouTube if we really, really cared what people thought of our opinions. Like,
I don't give a fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I used to care when we
And
started.
you shouldn't either.
I used to care when we started, and then after 2016, I was like, all right, we just don't agree that we like the same movies. That's fine.
Exactly. And you can't go out try to please everybody.
No.
But people are still watching. By the way, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
You're fantastic. But at the same time, it's like we are doing what we love, and that's what people gravitate toward.
Yeah.
When people ask us, like, how do you guys get a following or whatever, we're just like, I tell them, I'm just myself.
Yeah.
I'm hanging out with my homies, and that's all people are really kind of looking for.
Yeah.
Like, be authentic, be yourself, and if in that authenticness that you have, there's an amazing Star Wars story, fucking show it to me, because that's what I want to see.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Right. I mean, even for me, like, a lot of the movies that I've wanted to talk about, I've not done videos about because I'm like, I don't know if anybody will watch it.
Right.
At the same time, a week after the movie's gone by, and I'm like, I really want to talk about this movie because it's amazing.
Look what happened to your Halloween video.
I know.
Right?
I
You
know.
weren't expecting that.
I was
blow
not
up,
at
but
all.
there
I
you
wasn't
go.
at all.
Now
but
you're like the YouTube Halloween expert.
I guess so. I've been invited to talk about Halloween, and it makes me so happy.
Have
every
you
time.
really?
Well, yeah, I was just on the Nerd Go podcast with Ed
Yep.
Greer. I talked about Laurie Strode, how she was like one of my favorite fictional
See,
characters.
that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
homie. You just
I got to
do
do a
what
tour.
you love.
I took actually, I don't know how many people know about this on the YouTube side, but on Twitch, we did a live stream of me. Actually, I think it co-streamed on YouTube as well, but it's available on our Twitch channel. I did a stream where I took you, the live audience, on a tour of South Pasadena where they shot most of John Carpenter's Halloween.
Yeah.
It was a really cool video. I love Halloween.
Maybe you should port it over.
Maybe I should.
Port it over to
Next-
the YouTubes.
Next heat index.
Oh, this is like an auto.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
this is just automatic fire right here.
Yeah.
The source on this is AMC Theaters.
No, I forgot to change the link. I was in a hurry.
That's fine. That's
I was
fine.
in a hurry.
Peyton Reed is coming back for Ant-Man 3.
Yeah.
No release details have been confirmed, but it's planning to shoot at the end of 2020 or at the beginning of 2021 for a release in 2022. Sources say that sequels Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and Thor Love and Thunder will shoot before Ant-Man 3. The first Ant-Man grossed $519.3 million. The sequel, which Reed was more involved with, grew to $622.6 million. Neither one of those have made $1 billion, but you know what? It's fucking Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
never expected Ant-Man to even be good.
Very respectable numbers for
So, I'm okay
Ant-Man.
with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
My heat index is a 9.
Okay.
It would
Yeah.
be more of a heat index if they're like, Ant-Man 3's coming, and here's the name.
Right.
Oh. Okay.
Giant
right.
Man and the Wasp, or
Oh,
Ant-Man
well,
and the
yeah.
Young Avengers, and I'd be like, 10.
Ant-Man in stature. What?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So I'm at a 9.
I think this is a 10 just because they realize what they had at first,
Yeah.
and we're just getting back to it. Like, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. And in the beginning, especially with Phase 1, it was not very common that you would have directors kind of come back and do multiple
Right,
movies.
right,
Joss
right,
was
right,
kind of
right.
the first of like, he's going to do Avengers 1, and then if it's successful, he'll come back and do the second one.
Yep.
And then I feel like when you add directors like James Gunn and the Russos. It's like, oh, cool. We're really giving directors franchises, and we're saying, hey, carry this through for 3 movies.
Tell us.
I kind of hope that continues to happen. It's obviously happening with Black Panther, but I hope with Shang-Chi that happens. I hope with Captain Marvel it happens.
It's happening with Thor now.
Yeah, and I think like if that's the case, then I think they're really going to devote a lot of creative efforts into creating characters that more and more directors can do.
Right.
And it's a great opportunity for them to diversify.
Yep.
Kind of like with what Lucasfilm is doing with the Obi-Wan series, having one director kind of oversee the whole thing.
I like that.
I would like to see that also for Moon Knight and She-Hulk and whatever, you know, Miss Marvel or whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess, you know, I'm also open to them bringing in multiple directors as long as the vision is consistent.
Do it like The Mandalorian.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't Favreau kind of overseeing the whole thing?
Yeah.
And then you've got Taika Waititi.
I think it's like 5 directors.
All these amazing
Bryce Dallas
directors.
Howard,
Yeah.
Dave
Bryce
Filoni's
Dallas
doing one.
Dave Filoni. Is that going to be his first live action thing?
Yes.
That's that heat.
I'm so excited. That's like
That's
a
a heat.
15 for
That's
me.
a
This
heat.
is just a step in the right direction.
know.
Is what
Yeah,
it is.
it is.
I'm
It
so
is.
excited, and I'm so happy for everybody in the Ant-Man world. They deserve one more movie to finish out that
for sure.
trilogy, and I want big
Set up
stuff.
Cassie.
Set up Cassie, set up the Young Avengers. Give us a nice tribute to Hank Pym and Janet
Yeah.
Van Dyne.
Yeah.
Put Luis in a suit. You motherfuckers, put him in a suit.
More importantly, if we don't get Louise to recap the
I know,
events of the
I know,
MCU,
I know.
I'm going to be so mad.
After the snapping,
Are
yeah.
you kidding me? Why has that not happened yet?
He was gone for that too. Apparently, he was gone.
He snapped? He got
Yeah,
snapped?
because I mean, he didn't have the van.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
The
yeah.
van
right.
was in storage.
And then I
That's
like
right,
disappeared,
Yeah.
and I don't
then I-
remember
and
anything
then I was
after
back.
that.
Came back and I was like, wow.
And then I showed up again. I was like, whoa, I got a suit.
I'm in the same place, but these people don't know who I am. It was crazy.
Yeah. So we need to have him recap everything.
Yeah,
basically.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty much everything that we're going to talk about there. I think the HBO Max stuff was like the biggest news of the week.
Absolutely.
The Green Lantern thing was huge.
Yeah.
Real quick thing on the Green Lantern thing. Who do you want to see as Green Lantern?
Again, you got to factor in. Well, does this mean that?
Yeah.
No. You know what? If Barry Allen can get a Flash TV show,
Right.
and that they still choose Barry Allen, even though it's played by Ezra Miller in like
Right.
the movies, I say go Jon Stewart.
Of course.
Jon Stewart should be the focus, and then
Yeah.
Jon Stewart should also have a movie, whether it's the same or different. Should be the focus. I think that is the smartest, best way to get into the Green Lantern world right now.
Yeah.
I think that Hal is a great character, but he is somebody who is, as a character, I think that it's just tough to find room for him to be very unique,
Right.
because he's so classic.
Yeah.
Because he's
yeah.
so that's just Han Solo?
Right.
Oh, so it's just like a handsome white guy with brown
Yeah.
hair? Like, that's,
Yeah.
you
Right.
gotta
We've heard it.
Been there, done
We've heard
that.
it. We've seen
Correct.
Yeah.
Even though he hasn't had his due like in a movie, I'm like, John should be the focus. Hal should be the veteran.
Yeah.
Hal should be he could be in the movie, but
Right.
John
Yeah,
should
yeah.
be the focus.
If it's in the Arrowverse,
Yeah.
I would love David Ramsey to just
do Diggle,
a
and then
different
he's
universe.
Okay.
John
John
Stewart?
Stewart.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the multiverse.
Which they're really
sure.
teasing. I feel
Sure.
like they're really teasing it for Crisis. If it's not the case and,
Yeah.
it's disconnected and it's not Arrowverse, then I
Yeah.
still think that it should be John Stewart. You can obviously reference Jessica Cruz,
Yeah.
Kyle
Yeah.
Rayner, Hal Jordan, Simon Baz.
Yeah.
Honestly, or if you just went with Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz, I'd be okay with that too.
Yeah.
Speaking as a person who is currently and almost done rewatching the Green Lantern animated series,
Yeah.
it should be Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
Speaking as a comic book fiend, Jon Stewart. Speaking as a brown man, it should be Jon Stewart. Fucking Jon Stewart, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, why is this even a question anymore?
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
I would love Kyle, for him to get his due, Kyle, and if they actually cast like a Mexican actor and they're like, no,
Well,
Kyle's
absolutely.
Mexican, that would be dope.
Kyle
and Jessica
is great,
Cruz
but
would be
Kyle is the evolution of all
Yeah.
of everything that has
Yeah.
been built up. So
I
he
get that.
should come in, but later after
Yeah.
we've established
It's
this
the thing.
amazing
It's the thing
Green
of
Lantern
Iron Man
universe.
getting 3 movies,
Right.
and then you have Peter Parker,
Right,
and like
right,
then
right.
now it's his time. It's the
Right.
same sort of thing. It's like
Exactly.
John and Hal should be
Exactly.
here, and then Guy Gardner
They
should
should
be
knock
comic
that out.
relief,
Let's
and then the next generation should be Kyle Rayner,
Right,
leading the
right.
charge with little Jessica Cruz, Simon Bass.
Yep, agreed.
Agreed. Let us know in the comments which Green Lantern you want to see part of the TV show or cinematically. I still hope that we do get a Green Lantern movie, a Green Lantern series of some kind.
Yeah.
Please, for the love of God, Warner Brothers, do it and give me a Superman movie. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
man.
How many
You're
more times do I have
asking
to
a lot.
ask about this?
They're like, Adam, you're just asking too much.
How about a TV show?
How about a
I'll
CW
take
show?
that for now. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what you thought about everything that we talked about. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.